Now we are going to see the Ipv4 and Ipv6. The expansion of Ipv4 means IPv means Internet Protocol version. That will be 4 and 6. The 4 and 6 will be used in your computer networks. So the IP we already discussed, right? IP consists of a class configuration. That will be a class A, class B, class D, and class E, right? Class A which consists of 0 to 127. What will be used your default IP address, or it may be a loopback. That will be considered as a 122.0.01. So it will be considered as a class A configuration. The range will be, right? The range will be 0 to 127. That will be considered as a class A configuration. So whatever if you don't know about your IP address, right? You have to mention that will be a 127.0.01 means that will be a default address, that will be called as a loopback address, right? If you want to search your IP address, you have to give in the run command. That will be IP config. That will be IPconfig and IP configuration. That will be display your unique address for your system. That will be called as a IP address. So the second will be a class B configuration, and the main thing will be used in the data format, right? 127.0.0.1. So that will be under a data configuration. You have to notate, right? The notation will be in a data format. That will be considered as a Ipv4. If you mention that will be a colon format means that will be considered as a Ipv6, right? The address will be in the hexadecimal value, right? You have to mention that will be a B, C, C, D, whatever may be, and with a decimal number, right? And also it will be consist of a colon means that will be considered as a Ipv6, right? The advanced method of Ipv4 is a Ipv6. You have to connect some kind of class B that will be in the range of 128 to 191. So that will be considered as a class B. If you have your IP address will be a 192 to 223 means that will be considered as a class C configuration, right? 224 to 239 means that will be considered as a class D, and 240 to 255 means that will be considered as a class C configuration, right? Basically the address of that particular Ipv4 means that will be consist of a 32-bit address, right? Whatever the header file you have to give on, you have to pass to a message from source to destination means that will be considered in a packet address. The packet will be encrypted. So it consists of a sender information and also a destination information, and also it has a unique number that will be a checksum, right? The checksum value will be indicated as a if any congestion will be happened, or if any error will be detected means that will be considered as a parity number, that will be 0 or 1. So it check the values whether you have to give for one message from one source to another destination or another system. So that all the value will be considered as a header message. If you pass one message from one source to another message destination means that will be considered with the long data. That will be a header file. So to avoid that particular long file for a single message means you have to use a Ipv6. The message will be in the sender itself, right? The encrypted message will be considered and will be transmitted, or that will be converted in your sender itself. There is no transaction medium between your source to destination. In the Ipv4 means you have to give a transaction medium that will be converted your packet in the encrypted format, or converted your message through a encrypted format. So it takes some delay, and also if you send a large file or it may be a video file, that will be processing some delays, right? Some may be a chance of a packet of delay, and also loss of packets will be happen. So in the Ipv6 there is no delay of packets. There will be as a end-to-end connection, right? And also in the Ipv4 we have a fragmentation. Whatever the message you have given, that will be particularly distributed, and particularly there will be pieces of message will be transmitted for a single message. So because the header will be more messages, so it will take more address spaces or more bits of information. So it will be fragmented. That will be partitioned. So in the Ipv6 we don't have any fragmentation. The end-to-end connection will be happen through your source to destination, right? And also it is very safer, or a secure purpose will be happen in Ipv6 over Ipv4, right?